In the winter of 1723, Peter, whose overall health was never robust, began having problems with his urinary tract and bladder. In the summer of 1724, a team of doctors performed surgery, releasing upwards of 4 pounds of blocked urine. Peter remained bedridden until late autumn. In the first week of October, restless and certain he was cured, Peter began a lengthy inspection tour of various projects. Rastrelli finished his monument to Peter I, St. Michael's Castle. According to legend, in November, at Lahta along the Gulf of Finland to inspect some ironworks, Peter saw a group of soldiers drowning near shore and, wading out into near waist-deep water, came to their rescue. This icy water rescue is said to have exacerbated Peter's bladder problems and caused his death. The story, however, has been viewed with skepticism by some historians, pointing out that the German chronicler Jacob von Stahlen is the only source for the story. In early January 1725, Peter was struck once again with uremia or azotemia. Legend has it that before lapsing into unconsciousness, Peter asked for a paper and pen and scrawled an unfinished note that read, "Leave all to," and then, exhausted by the effort, asked for his daughter Anna to be summoned. Peter died between 4 and 5 in the morning on February 8. An autopsy revealed his bladder to be infected with gangrene. He was 52 years, 7 months old when he died, having reigned 42 years. He is interred in St. Peter and Paul Cathedral. After his death, students came to the military college with a request to leave science under the pretext of unconsciousness and incomprehensibility. Religion. Peter had a great interest in dissenters and visited gatherings of Quakers and Mennonites. He did not believe in miracles and founded the all-joking, all-drunken Synod of Fools and Jesters, an organization that mocked the Orthodox and Catholic Church when he was 18. In January 1695, Peter refused to partake in a traditional Russian Orthodox ceremony of the Epiphany and would often schedule events for the all-joking, all-drunken Synod of Fools and Jesters to directly conflict with the Church. He often used the nickname Pakhom Mikhailov among the ministers of religion who made up his relatively close circle of long-term drinking companions. Peter was brought up in the Russian Orthodox faith, but he had low regard for the church hierarchy, which he kept under tight governmental control. The traditional leader of the church was the Patriarch of Moscow. In 1700, when the office fell vacant, Peter refused to name a replacement, allowing the Patriarch's coadjutor, or deputy, to discharge the duties of the office. Peter could not tolerate the Patriarch exercising power superior to the Tsar, as indeed had happened in the case of Filaret, 1619–1633, and Nikon, 1652–66. The Alexander Nevsky Lavra was constructed between 1710 to 1712, St. Peter and Paul Cathedral between 1712 to 1733. In 1716, he invited Theophan Prokopovich, a pietist and astronomer, to come to the capital. The ecclesiastical regulations of 1721 were based on the ideas of August Hermann Frank. The church reform of Peter the Great abolished the Patriarchate, replacing it with a holy synod that was under the control of a procurator. In 1721, Peter followed the advice of Prokopovich in designing the Holy Synod as a council of 10 clergymen. For leadership in the church, Peter turned increasingly to Ukrainians, who were more open to reform but were not well loved by the Russian clergy. Peter implemented a law that stipulated that no Russian man could join a monastery before the age of 50. He felt that too many able Russian men were being wasted on clerical work when they could be joining his new and improved army. Marriages and family. Peter the Great had 2 wives, with whom he had 15 children, 3 of whom survived to adulthood. Peter's mother selected his first wife, Eudoxia Lopakina, when he was only 16. This was consistent with previous Romanov tradition by choosing a daughter of a minor noble. This was done to prevent fighting between the stronger noble houses and to bring fresh blood into the family. Upon his return from his European tour in 1698, Peter sought to end his unhappy marriage. He divorced the Tsaritsa and forced her to join a convent. She had borne him 3 children, although only one, Alexei Petrovich, Tsarevich of Russia, survived past his childhood. Menshikov introduced him to Marta Helena Skoranska, the daughter of a Polish-Lithuanian peasant, and took her as a mistress sometime between 1702 and 1704. Marta converted to the Russian Orthodox Church and was given the name Catherine. Though no record exists, Catherine and Peter married secretly between October 23 and December 1, 1707 in St. Petersburg. Peter valued Catherine and married her officially at St. Isaac's Cathedral on February 19, 1712. In 1718, his son Alexei Petrovich was locked up in the Peter and Paul fortress, whom he regarded as the rebellious Absalom. He was suspected of being involved in a plot to overthrow the emperor. Alexei was tried and confessed under torture during questioning conducted by a secular court, Count Tolstoy. He was convicted and sentenced to be executed. The sentence of high treason could only be carried out with Peter's signed authorization, and Alexei died in prison, as Peter hesitated before making the decision. Alexei's death most likely resulted from injuries suffered during his torture. Alexei's mother Eudoxia was punished. She was dragged from her home, tried on false charges of adultery, publicly flogged, and confined in monasteries while being forbidden to be talked to. In 1724, Peter had his second wife, Catherine, crowned as empress, although he remained Russia's actual ruler. By his 2 wives, he had 15 children, 3 by Eudoxia and 12 by Catherine. These included 4 sons named Pavel and 3 sons named Peter, all of whom died in infancy. Only 3 of his children survived to adulthood. He had only 3 grandchildren, Tsar Peter II and Grand Duchess Natalia by Alexei and Tsar Peter III by Anna.